Do you want to know how experts value a property? Worried you're offering too much or unsure what price to list your home at? In this video, we'll walk through all the ways experts use to determine the value of a home. We will discuss how experts do a comparative market analysis, why the list price is not the value of a home, and why appraisals are so important. I've also got a bonus tip at the end where I'll share why experts don't rely on the Zestimate when helping their clients. Hey, I'm Alex, your friendly neighborhood realtor and real estate educator, who helps people navigate the world of real estate every day. Determining the value of a property requires research, expert market knowledge, and a bit of confidence. Valuing a property is not an exact science, and while there are established techniques used to determine value, at the end of the day, it is still an opinion. There is no single right answer. Expert agents estimate the value of a property by doing a comparative market analysis, also known as a CMA. When valuing residential property, recent sales, under agreement, and actively listed comparable homes are taken into account. Along with this, the agent will look at trends and use their market knowledge and experience to help determine the value range of a property. I say range because, as we said before, there is no right answer here. Many factors that can change on a daily basis, like demand and mortgage rates, can affect market value quite a bit. Some agents, like certified pricing strategy advisors, are more experienced when it comes to CMAs, while others are just honing their craft. Make sure you work with an agent that can give you a reliable CMA. It's vital when getting ready to sell or buy a home. Especially if you're a first-time home buyer, be sure to get a CMA of any property you plan to make an offer on, otherwise you're going in blind. At this point, you may be asking yourself, if an agent can determine the value of a property with a CMA, why do so many homes sell for way over the list price? Isn't the list price the value of the home? If there is one thing you take away from this video, please let it be that the list price is not the value of a home. The list price is first and foremost a marketing tool. The seller and the listing agent work together to set the list price based on several things. If the listing agent is doing their job, the basis for their list price range will be recommended based on a thorough CMA. From there, they will determine their marketing strategy. If the seller is in a hurry to move, they would benefit from listing the property at the lower end of the value range in order to encourage a quicker sale. If the market is strong and the seller is in no rush, they may list at the higher end and hope to get as much as possible for the property. By using the list price as a marketing tool, the listing agent and their client can gain some control over the sale of their home in order to better achieve the client's unique goals. Now, what about when homes sell for $100,000 or more over list price? 99% of the time, that means the property was listed artificially low in order to attract as much attention as possible. While in some markets, competition can drive prices well above the value range given by a CMA, in most cases, if the disparity is that large, the property was probably listed too low. This can be frustrating for buyers that don't understand what you now know, so I hope you found this insight helpful. If you did, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. It really makes a difference. Now that we understand how agents and sellers come to value the price of their homes, what about the bank? If you're using a mortgage to buy a home, your lender will very likely need it to be appraised before they approve your loan. An appraisal is a third-party valuation of the collateral you are using to borrow that huge chunk of cash from the lender. Appraisals can only be done by licensed and highly trained appraisers. The method they use to determine the value of a property is very similar to a CMA, but done using a standardized form called a Uniform Residential Appraisal. Like a CMA, it takes into account market trends and recent sales of comparable properties. Much like a CMA, while it is rooted in hard data, the appraiser must also then give their opinion when it comes to final valuation. Every appraiser is different, and values can and often do differ between appraisers, even on the same property. Doing a CMA before making an offer is important because if an appraisal comes in below the purchase price of the home you're buying, the lender will require you to bring more cash to cover the difference in value. The consequences can range from deal-breaking to a higher cash burden for the buyer. In some cases, you may be able to negotiate the final sale price down with the seller, but in a strong market, this is difficult and often unlikely. So make sure you understand the value of a property before you make an offer, and if you decide to offer more than it may be worth, be prepared for the consequences. For some buyers, this is no problem, but many may not be able to afford to cover the difference. Now that you understand the difference between market value, list price, and what the bank says it's worth, you can ask yourself, what is your dream home worth to you? All value is subjective, and that goes for homes too. You've already seen that while market value is used to establish a good estimate of property value, it is not necessarily what the home will sell for. At the end of the day, a home is worth whatever one person will pay for it. If that person is a Victorian's home fanatic, has no financial restrictions, and couldn't live to not win in a bidding war for their dream home, they will very likely pay more than market value for that house, and by doing so, establish what it's worth to them, and in turn, what the seller will get when they close. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that it's easy to get an unreasonable price for your home when selling, or that you should have to pay far over what the home is worth to the market. You should always begin with a reliable CMA, and then from there determine what the home is worth to you by looking at your monthly budget, the competition, and frankly, how the home makes you feel. After all, you're going to live there. As long as you understand the current value and refrain from being foolish, you'll find the right price to pay for your dream home. Hang on, I've got one more tip for you. Don't rely on the Zestimate. These automated valuation models, like the Zestimate or Redfin's value estimate, are really fun to look at, but they are by no means something experts rely on when determining the value of a home. AVMs are based on tons of aggregate data, but they don't know how to calculate the value of that specific neighborhood or the condition of the home, any upgrades that have been made, or anything else that's just a number in the public record, which, by the way, can be inaccurate anyways. While those are part of a CMA, far more complexity is needed in order to confidently establish value. So while AVMs can sometimes be useful tools and can provide insight to value trends, they're not a substitute for a CMA done by an expert agent, or better yet, a pricing strategy advisor. I hope this video helped you better understand how homes are valued, and you use this knowledge to make your real estate journey more successful. If you learned something from this video, please hit like and subscribe. Just that 2-second gesture will help this channel to grow and keep me making more videos for others like you to learn from. Oh hey, since you made it to the end of the video, make sure you check out this one too. I picked it just for you.